Happy Soccer Mom Sunday. Good morning. Jen C's here with you. It's been a couple weeks. We haven't had a podcast in a little bit. I'll be honest with you. Some of that's on me and on St. Louis City SC. It's been a busy May, and I think it's for a bunch of reasons. It's a busy May because May's just busy for anybody who's got his parents with kids and soccer and graduations and just school letting out and how many things you have going on. And then, of course, on the St. Louis City side, which is the other thing that I do, 7 games going on 8. We'll have had 8 games. By the time this podcast drops, we'll have had 8 games. So congested weeks where I haven't really known what day it is for a month now. So I think today is a Friday and we're recording. And I want to say hello. If you're chuckling in the background, I've been after this player for a little while now, and I'm so glad I have her, Maddie DiMaria. Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
And Sara Wingbermuehle DiMaria, who I just...
That's a mouthful.
I remember from back in... We'll get into that. Back in St. Paul days, but thanks, Mom, for coming in.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So I wanted to kind of first start... there's obvious things to talk about, Maddie, when it comes to the things that, you can just Google. I Googled I was like, what comes up if I Google Maddie DiMaria? A lot about soccer. But I want to go... I'm linear, so I figured we'll go back to the beginning, and that's before you existed, Maddie.
Yep. Okay.
Where Mom and I and your brother Bill and my siblings were, we were Fentonites. Were you in the classes at the time where Fenton didn't have Summit yet? Because
yes.
That's okay. So we're not that far apart. So I was in that kind of part. So if anybody's listening from Fenton, they're going to get some nods.
I think my class was the last to go to Eureka.
Oh, did you go to Eureka as well, or did you go?
No, I went to Cor Jesu.
So you went to Cor Jesu as well. But yeah, so Fenton was kind of divided into quadrants, as I understood, because we didn't have Summit. It was being built, and you either went to Lindbergh, Valley Park, Northwest, if you were near the High Ridge, and then our part of it, because I think you guys are just down bowls from us, went to Eureka. So when my kids complain about their, jaunt to school, I'm like, please don't talk to me about that, about, the buses having to go through Fenton before hitting Highway 44, which was constantly under construction, and heading out to Eureka. And if you played a sport and you took the activities bus, you're usually taking the last one home, and it was dark by the time we get home. So
that was a long ride.
Nice to meet a kindred spirit who at least can confirm what my, kids don't believe.
Yeah, it was a jaunt to get there, and we were the last class before Rapid Summit opened.
Yeah,
so
and my brother and me went through Eureka, and then my sister and my youngest brother went to Summit. So there's many times when I'll tell my sister Cynthia, and I'm like, oh, so-and-so from Eureka, and she's like, I don't know Eureka people. I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah, that's right. She was right behind me.
Yeah,
she was right behind me at St. Paul. So, yeah.
So she never had upperclassmen. I'm like, that's no fair. You should have you should have been scared going there, where, the seniors look huge.
She ruled the roost, right?
She totally did. She totally did. So, you look at that, and I look just back at St. Paul and soccer and the heyday of, and there's still CYC soccer, but it really was kind of the one place everybody started, what you all played. And I don't think I entered the club scene until 4th grade, which is would be late nowadays. They do it when they're 3.
Yeah, we had no idea that. I didn't enter until at least 4th or 5th grade. It was later.
Okay, I gotta have you drop club names. Do you remember any of them?
I played for Coke Hurricanes.
Me too.
Yes, and then
I cool, Hurricanes behind it was just Coke. Dang it, that's cool.
Yes, Lou Stam I think was the coach at the time, and then I moved to Copeland.
Copeland, yes.
And then I moved to JB Marine. I played for Big Cat.
Okay, so so many. I can't tell you how many players we are. Parents that we have that went through those JB Marine days, and how good those teams always typically were. Were yours as well?
Yeah. Well, my team, actually, they won a national championship the year before I joined.
Oh.
And then we did
a team that had multiple age groups on it, if I remember right, I thought. Or did they make another one?
No, this was the team with Andrea Dada and Lisa Farah, Emily Stevens,
I remember
Dolan.
Some of the names. Yeah. And then you fast forward.
Tracy Gross. There's quite a few.
There you go. Now, tell me too, because this will also, Maddie, you're coming. Hang on. I want to make sure we did. Did you then go and play further beyond? Like everybody's soccer journeys kind of started and stopped differently.
Yes, I went to Loyola University, Chicago.
And did you play?
I did.
How did you like that?
Oh, I loved it. Yes, it was great. So when I was recruiting, when I was going into the recruiting process, which was later than it happens here now, everything's a little bit sped up for these kids.
Senior year,
yeah,
right?
It was senior year, and I went to Loyola University, Chicago, partly because they had a program, and Mizzou didn't have a program yet. It was a year after.
Yeah,
and then
did they even have club at the time?
They did.
They had like that kind of club, but you wanted to play something official.
Yes, I wanted to play for the official, division something team, and it just so happened that Loyola had transitioned from a club team to a D1 program.
That's perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
What was your position?
I played a
attacker.
Well, I was an attacking player, but I was a winger. Could be a wing forward, wing midfielder.
Fine.
Yeah,
me too. There you go.
I wasn't as technically skilled
We
as
didn't need to be if you were fast.
that was all I was fast. I tell my kids all the time, your speed is, I like to think it's from me. Jeff is also fast, but
just own it.
I own it. I have to own something.
I gotta own it. Jeff is another force. He can have something else.
Yeah, he does all the technical training. He does all of that, so he can have that. But speed is mine.
That is awesome. So I mean, really, it's like it's not an unusual story to have soccer kind of just genetically or passed through the family. Were you then done after like school was kind of? It was for me for the most part. I think I played a little bit when I was over 30, and I played a little bit with you on one of the old lady teams that played in the Premier League. Remember that?
Yes.
Premier League, we would go, and then it was like,
that was hard.
We played a college team, man. We were playing a Rockhurst team, and I don't remember how old I was, but much older. I mean, at least a decade older than these girls. Had a couple kids, and the girl we were marking each other, of course, on the wing. I was like, okay, I can get her a few times. Like I got to make these runs good because I only have a few more. I have a few in me a game, and she was so sweet. But she turned and she's like, "Your team's like really good," and I was like, "Thanks." And she's like, "Are you are you guys like recently out of college or something?" I'm like, "No, thank you." Like I don't remember what my age was at the time, and she looked at me and she goes, "Oh, my mom's your age." I'm like, "You bite your tongue. I'm gonna slide tackle you on the next play." I didn't because I was tired. Like sub.
Yeah. I did not do anything except for more casual play after college.
But always competitive.
Yeah.
I remember you were competitive. Paige Smith was playing with us at the time. By the way, I'm still working on her to get on this podcast.
She's the one that wrote me into playing because she also went to had kids at St. Paul.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It takes a village.
Yes.
But yeah, those were fun times. So and then to bring Maddie into this conversation, of course, is the you just kind of you see people as you play soccer, and then you go on your way, and then what grade were they? So Queen of All Saints, hello Queen of All Saints people, have their winter tournament, their winter classic or whatever they call it, and it was really made. It's a really good concept. They're made for the teams that aren't old enough yet for city county. So give them a little bit of something in the postseason, even though it's so cold.
I remember the fields so cold.
Are so hard. They're rocks, and they kind of have to cram them in they have a nice campus there, but they have to kind of cram 3 fields in to make the tournament happen. And we had gotten to my little Queen team with my daughter Marin on it, got to there, and I look across, we're playing a St. Paul team, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, because normally you're always playing the same teams. Oh, great, St. Paul team entered. I look across to warming up, and I saw 2 things. I looked to the sideline, and I was like, there's a woman coach. I love this. There aren't enough of us, so this is awesome. She's obviously head coach. She looks familiar. It's you, Sara. And then I was like, I think that's Sara Wingbermuehle. And I was trying to tell Mara, and then I looked to the field of girls warming up, and I was like, oh, here. And I pulled my daughter aside, and I said, I hate to tell you, but I don't know her name, but whatever your number was at the time, Maddie, I'm like, that's your mark, Mara. And she's like, And that is the biggest compliment I can give you. And if I don't know if you guys remember that game, but I remember bits and pieces.
Oh, I remember how cold it
You do?
was. Yes.
How it was?
I think I remember a little bit of it. Like, I remember how competitive it was. It was a good game.
It was a good game, and I don't remember. I know it came like it was by a goal.
Yes.
It was at the end. I don't know if we went into overtime. I can't remember, but it was like at the very end.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where when you're on the CYC and you're on the rec part of the game, which I love, we need to keep that part of the game because more kids need to be able to play. But you had it too on your team. I could see you had this kind of disparity of who was the among the top players, and then the drop off is pretty big. And so it really, I felt like there was a time where I'm like, oh, this just 15 minutes is just Maddie versus Marin, just Maddie and Marin stealing the ball from each other, trying to go, taking the ball from each other, trying to go. And I was excited because I was like, this is the kind, she really kind of wanted more. I think it was right before we decided to make Oakville United and do the select part, but it was one of those where I could see there was a little bit of nervousness in her eyes, but also a twinkle because she had somebody to really challenge her on speed, on whatever skill you guys had at that age, and just like the overall athleticism. So yeah, she still grins when we talk about that game. She's like, that was really hard.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. Yeah.
What was fun, Maddie, for you about now that you're older and we'll get to the high school part, what was fun for you about the CYC portion? I mean, I think it's an uncelebrated part of the game as more and more kids get into club.
Oh, yeah. No, I think CYC was awesome. I mean, I played so many CYC sports. I played like softball back in the day. I was in like random, I don't know. I tried everything.
Played everything.
As I say, I knew you were multi-sport for a long time.
I still play basketball today, but I was in basketball, I was in volleyball, I was in all of them. Yeah. CYC was always something I loved to do. I mean, it was just with my school friends, so I'd like get to hang out with my school friends, do something that we could all like compete a little bit, but it was kind of just a little more laid back. It was just like for fun. But yeah, no, I really had a lot of fun playing, and I think it was
the coolest thing about CYC is that there's disparity, you know, there's a range, and so it brings out a different excitement to see somebody that
else
doesn't normally excel or get a goal, gets a goal.
Yeah.
You know, it was fun. We enjoyed it. We played all of the years.
I played
all
8 years.
You did do all 8.
Yeah,
totally.
We moved, and then she did 1 year at St. Clement because we're in that parish now, but it was just, she probably wouldn't have, but she wanted to play with her cousin. So it does provide you sometimes the ability to play with friends or other people that you would not find on your club team, and that's fun too, just like indoor.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about indoor. Oh, this is fun. Okay, do you remember Veta?
Yeah.
Manchester?
Totally.
I don't remember, because Sarah, you were I was helping my sister coach. I really didn't want to, but she made me. And
was I coaching?
No, you were on the parent sideline, and we found these T-shirts that my youngest still has it called "Kick Like a Girl." So we named our team that because I was like, yeah. And then we were facing a team that was it was your team, Maddie, but it was primarily a Gallagher coach. If you said his name, I would remember. But I can't remember him off the top of my head. He was also a CYC coach, but it was also one of those where normally, kind of the same deal in indoor. You find it on the adult game too. Right? You have this kind of thing where most of the time it's a kind of an even, and then I was like, oh, there she is again, and Mark's like, in the best way. And it was also a battle of,
was this the Holiday Classic or?
I feel like it was league. I feel like it was a league kind of, and then you just found your games wherever. And Maddie, you were on the team, and I was like, Mark's
was this Joe Sharamatera?
Oh, no, I know
okay.
Joe. But if the name
played for Ladybugs with Joe, and you may not remember.
I feel like it's not Joe. But it was, again, one of those where Marin's like, I already know. And it was fun, though. It was fun. Again, now you got a condensed field.
Yeah.
Which, that little one down on the bottom of Beta it's kind of a boxy field. But it was fun to watch So it was one of those where I'm like, I really wished Marin and you actually would it be awesome if you could play together. So I'm like, you guys could do an indoor team. But to battle one another, because I think that kind of competition makes you a better player.
Totally.
So those are, I promised her that I was going to bring those up, and she's like, oh. But it's fun to kind of see them, and then get to this part of their careers, if you will, and whether they've played together or against, and just to see the growth of all of them now. And you're crazy. So going into junior year, just
going
like
into
that, right?
junior year, yep.
Yeah. So I brought up the memories I promised I would do. But I had to ask.
She's a great player.
She did a good job.
Is a great player.
She did a good job. And it's funny, you guys had a lot of similarities. Like you had speed. You had similar builds at the
Drive. They were very driven.
Very driven, very competitive. But then, there would be times where I'm like, look at this player, Maddie, and I'd be like, those are some, I would like her to get more comfortable with that. So it was kind of nice to have her, look at that and have somebody. But maybe when you can and you won't get hurt, you guys should totally make like a Veta indoor team.
Oh, totally.
Battle out.
Definitely should.
She tried to play Veta. You played Veta recently, right?
You did?
I tried to play Veta. It's so fun. I love it.
In that crazy high school league, it was like
those are
co-ed.
So, I know it's
she wasn't very fond of that.
I was like, maybe
I didn't play. They wouldn't let me play.
Your mom's right, only because if you get, in my opinion, when I did you do co-ed too, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And that was over at the Dome.
Yep.
You could have a good time, but if you were playing if you were playing a team of a bunch of really good soccer players, men or women, you're probably fine. But if you weren't, you could maybe get hurt.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of, and then turf and just the beast in and of itself. Yeah. So maybe preserve your knees for.
Yeah, I'm done with that for right now. I think we moved past that.
So going back in time, I have to ask, when did you start? Like, were you just, because soccer mom, soccer dad, were you just kicking the ball when you were little?
Oh yeah, I think I kicked the ball ever since I could kick the ball, probably, or one. I mean, all my siblings play. So Anna and Jack played. I mean, they played. So it was just like I came up in soccer environment.
That's the thing to do.
Oh yeah, and I totally fell in love with it. I loved it, every second of it. And
where are you in the birth order?
I'm third.
Third, okay.
Yeah, so I have an older sister, Anna, who goes to Mizzou.
Okay.
And then she's going into junior year. And then
does she play right now too?
Yes.
For Stephanie Golan?
Yes.
Oh,
she does play.
Great.
And then my older brother, Jack, just graduated SLU High School and is going to SLU College to play soccer. Nice. And then my little brother, Tommy, is just graduated 8th grade, so he's going into high school at SLU. And he plays for City.
Oh, for the academy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. So that would be their youngest team, right?
He plays on U15.
Yeah, he plays a year up.
Who's the coach? Is that Megan? Anthony. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's awesome. So
he's broken right now, though.
Yeah,
so he went to U.S. training camp in Houston with some teammates, and he was so excited about the opportunity. And they were in a game, and the goalie came into his ankle and snapped both his tibia and fibula.
That's like a cerebral
really bad
injury almost.
So he's been out for a month, and he'll have at least another. The good news is he'll be back by the fall.
Wow. Oh, that's actually, for a break like that, that's pretty. It feels, probably not to him, but it feels kind of quick. Mm-hmm. If it is, I don't know.
It's felt like the longest month.
Yeah. I bet. Like the surgeries and all that are done or whatever.
No surgeries. They did a closed reduction. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, they reset
basically
the bones.
Setting it, yeah.
Without surgery, which was great.
Wow.
Flew him home from Houston, and then he did that here.
So, gosh, this question then applies to any of your kids, not just Maddie, who's sitting here in front of me, is when with each of them did you know, like, so they're playing, right? And you can have an athlete who's kind of athletic and they play and they're usually pick up stuff pretty easily. But when did the eyebrow go up where you were like, wait a minute, like, was it early for each of them? Was it a different time, Sarah?
I think it was different times. I mean, we didn't know to start our kids. Like, we were of the mindset that we had when we were kids, right? So we didn't start playing until we were a little bit older. And so when we threw Anna into soccer, she was at CYC kindergarten, and she was like, whoa, what is this? And so then we thought, oh, well, maybe we should be these kids were well advanced, it just felt like things progressed more quickly than we had recognized. And so when we started Jack, we started him a little bit earlier, and we started Maddie a little bit earlier, and every kid.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did.
Every kid is very competitive. They're competitive amongst each other.
Totally.
And so
How competitive?
So competitive. We used to play 2v2 in the backyard, in our living room.
In the living room?
Anywhere. Boys versus girls. We would do boys versus girls.
There were a lot of times where Anna, like the girls would play the boys. So Anna had the privilege to play Jack many times because they were both at Gallagher, and then Maddie also played Tommy multiple times. I think did you ever play Jack?
I never played Jack, but I did play Tommy like twice.
Did you win?
No. I mean, I think our team lost by 1.
I think Tommy was came home selling the fact that he scored the winning goal, or was that Anna's team? I can't remember, but he was like, we won.
Yeah.
And rub your face in it.
He somehow played a role in it and felt like very proud.
Yeah, but that's the story. He's gonna go to his grave telling that story. I'm sure. Yeah. And by the way, for the listeners who are listening in, it's getting louder in the background, and I forgot to shout it out the front. I'll shout it out the back. So we're at Truman's Place in Fenton. I should have led with that. Also, St. Paul connection. Dan Truman owns us. The Trumans went there. Also, everybody played soccer in common ground. So it's approximately, I can't see my screen because I need my reading glasses, 4:30 on a Friday, which means, it's filling up here. It's always busy. So
fun.
And I haven't been here in years, so it was fun to kind of come.
We come.
Do you come?
We live in Fenton, so.
Well, the way, just the growth of Fenton too, like just to get here, my GPS is like, I got to take what road? Because you would just take there wasn't these side roads. Yeah, the outer roads. And so shout out to them. They've gave us a booth, and people are having a good time here. And really excited for, by the time this drops, please, I hope City beats San Jose, because the soccer fans who are here have already talked to me up about it before you guys got here.
Oh, really?
yeah, for sure. So back to your soccer. When it came to Maddie, when did you know? Like, was she bebopping little? Was it that St. Paul game where you guys beat my team and took the trophy?
I mean, I think with Maddie, I recognized her speed immediately when she started playing. So for me, I was like, oh wow, she has a special second gear.
It's a gift. Yeah.
And I think with a lot of, I knew there was a ton of potential, and having her siblings, she picked up things a lot more quickly. And then obviously Jeff, with the amount of technical training and he's known to be a super technical player.
He's pretty good at the game.
Yeah, he's decent. Decent.
So I think the speed was the first thing I noticed about her, and that she had a high ceiling.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch her grow.
Yeah. So you go. I'm thinking, what? Being you're not the firstborn, you probably got into the club side quicker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I did the same thing with our firstborn. I'm like, we're not doing this. He didn't start till kindergarten, and he was behind. I was like, he stinks, and all these kids are good. They've been playing since they were 3. He's 5, and he's terrible. Sorry, Georgie. And then Marin, because she watched it, and she was running around chasing the concession stand truck, and she was like, I want to play, and she was 3, and so I was like, okay, whatever. And then that's the same thing. It was like, oh, she's fast. And then she would come off, and she'd be like playing with somebody's ponytail. And then she'd go out and just try to just score 3 goals. And I'm like, she's like a beast. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
To your story. So how did the club route then happen? Was it just we find a place to go, or did somebody pick you up to see what you?
So, and at that time when we moved to Fenton, we actually had just had Maddie. So Maddie's born in February, and we moved to Fenton that following June. So Anna was in kindergarten, starting kindergarten. She was starting kindergarten at St. Paul, and Jack was 3. So we had started Anna in soccer then, realizing then that we might have started her too late. And so then we started Jack. And so it just seemed easy to get into club at Gallagher because they're here and right there. And once we had 3 children, we were kind of obviously outnumbered. so it was like, okay, this is the closest place. It's perfect. And, you know, Jeff has a history with Gallagher. He's played for them in the past. And
we've all played there.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're Fenton.
It
was kind of I don't think we knew what a blessing it was to grow up with Soccer Park or whatever it's called.
Yes,
I mean, just down the outer road, super fast.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's been an amazing experience. All of our kids have played there, and it's been a great coaching, great experience for all of them. So we just stayed there. It's perfect.
So tell me, I know that the high school's easy for me because you're kicking ass there and doing a great job. You did the Gatorade player and brought up the match ball for City last season, right? Yeah. Not this season, last season. I can't keep the season straight. Brought out the match day ball and talked to you in the booth there. Reflect where you are now. You appeared for the youth national team. Bring me up to speed. So I know Cor Jesu, and we won again. Yes, we won. Where are we done? We're not done.
No, we're not done yet.
Almost done.
We play tomorrow?
We play tomorrow. So we're in...
Can you before it's the final?
No, it is quarterfinals. So quarterfinals is tomorrow, and then if we win that, we would play next weekend at Soccer Park. So it would be, we would play the 6th, which would be semis, and then the 7th would be the state final.
Okay, God, it's so long.
I know.
It's weird. It's condensed, but it's long.
Last year was a week earlier because we played our state final it would be tomorrow. Our state final was tomorrow last year.
And who do you play to hopefully get there?
Tomorrow we play Ursuline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you beat them? Like, I don't know how good these coaches.
Anyone can win on any given day.
She always says that. So we got to show up.
I love how mom's keeping you humble.
Yeah, she is. Totally, she is. But no, hopefully when this is posted, we have won.
There you go.
That's our plan. We'd love to win.
On some wood over here.
Yeah, you could be for growth and development and still want the result.
Yeah,
you know, I think totally. So you go to Gallagher, right? I'm thinking did you do like the Friday Night Lights?
Yes,
you just bebopped up your way. Okay,
I love the Friday Night Lights.
We had all of our kids in the Friday Night Lights
doing that at the same time.
Yeah,
but you're
totally
09, right?
Yes.
So she's an 08. So sometimes they combine, but I have a feeling you guys were probably
off by
right next to each other playing, and then they are just playing, and it's a great time.
It's an awesome time. I mean, I loved Friday Night Lights. I would say
sad
parents like it too.
Yeah, they totally do.
We did. We were good time.
No, I thought it was so fun because I'd play, and then I'd hang out with my friends, and then I'd get food, and then I'd go to the concession
she had a brother
stand
that was playing too. So then Tommy would start playing, and so it was you were there multiple hours, and on Friday night
it was great.
So then tell me how, because I will get to the high school side, and I got more to get with you because you got a lot. How did you then just by people IDing you and saying, okay, it's time, this team, were you immediately kind of into the system where you're green and navy and all those colors?
So originally I was on a Timbers team with just a little classic team, and then I think eventually I went to Larry, or was that who I had next? Coach Larry, there you go. Yeah, and I remember he used to always give me caramel apple suckers when I would do good, and so we'd always try our best at practice.
He's great. But here's what I love though, of all the things you can remember, right? Caramel apple suckers, coaches, they remember these more than anything else.
I totally do. And it was my team was called Elite Navy or whatever. Yeah. So I was with Larry, and then I think I went to Eric,
Eric
Schmidt. Yeah, I think I went to Eric Schmidt. Yeah,
a long time ago, but yeah.
And I kind of followed just with my same team. I think did I play a year up from the beginning?
No, because then when they did have the split of green and navy, she moved to Sterling, right? Did you play for Sterling?
Yeah, I played for Sterling for 1 year, and then I've been in the ECNL for going on 6 years now, maybe.
Wow. Are you always playing up, or are you playing your 8? Because that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I play up right now. I play with the 08 team.
Okay.
So,
I think when she moved to ECNL, the ECNL program, she moved to an age group up. So she's been with the 08 since the beginning.
yeah.
Okay, nice. So you got all that action going on, and then you're doing great. Were you starting? I couldn't remember, and I couldn't find it. Were you getting involved with the U.S. Youth National Team before high school, or was that only comes in the? Does that only come in the high school years?
It was like my 8th grade, like end of 8th grade year. It was like I had my first like little U14 or whatever, like regional camp in like May.
First
I want to
camp?
say
You missed graduation.
I
She
did
missed her own
I
graduation.
missed my own graduation. I missed my 8th grade day out. I
No
missed
way.
it. Yeah, my mom got my diploma, so
You sound like Alex
I'll
Pfeiffer.
take it. No, but yeah, I think that was like the first like mini camp, and then we had our first real camp in my freshman year of Cor Jesu. It was like October-ish, I want to say, and we went to like Portland, Oregon or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool because we did like the Nike headquarters, and like we got like tested, and it was like agility and all of this. It was really cool.
That is fun. And
Yeah.
so you move forward, and you did graduate. Mom got your diploma. You go to Cor Jesu. Mom went to Cor Jesu.
Yes.
And was it hard for you to decide to play high school soccer? I mean, I had to ask this for all the. There's always this debate. Should you not? How was it for you?
I mean, it was a little bit challenging, but my sister played high school soccer and loved it, and she like would tell me about it all the time. I knew all of her friends from high school, and I was like, wait, I kind of want to play. So I was like, let me just try 1 year, see how it is. Like, if I think the level's not like up to it, then maybe I shouldn't play it next year. But I played, and it was the best thing ever, and
That's awesome.
I love
No
it.
looking back, Matt.
No looking
She
back.
loves
Yeah.
That the club supports you in that way.
Yeah,
And I don't honestly believe it's. In my opinion,
They've been great.
I don't think it's
They've
one
said,
club or another. There are occasional. I think it's more probably individual coaches at any club that may not. It's hard. I won't say. I'm gonna say this again. I've said this on previous podcasts. I'm gonna say it again. It's harder for the girls because I have a 14-year-old boy who's going into high school. And it's easy for him to play at fall and then have the winter and the spring with his club. It's harder for the girls who have to play in spring. Mm-hmm. And then, when depending on how far you go, you might have 2 weeks?
2 weeks before nationals, yeah.
And then you're grinding and trying to get, back in synchronicity with your team. That's a challenge.
Which is a challenge, yeah, because many teams who are like on different like schedules, they play in the fall, and then they'll like be all like put together because they'll have played all throughout the spring together. So it's just like we're trying to pick up right back up where we left off from 2 weeks ago.
Misha, I know it's a challenge. I know it's a challenge with the referees. I hear this from my husband, but I'm just saying, I think Missouri's like one of only 7, I think, states that don't have the boys and girls play at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
I know it's coordination's a problem, but I'm just saying, move football. Move football. Sorry, all the football coaches are like, shut up. Just move them to the winter. It's fine. They wear a ton of clothing.
It's very hot for them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even want to play when it's hot outside. But yeah, so it's great that you had, that kind of support. Did you what is the coolest thing about each, and the challenge about each of the things you do? So I'm thinking high school soccer, club soccer, and then, when you do go with the U.S. Youth National Team, what's the challenging part and then what's the thing you get from each one?
Yeah, I mean, so to start off, I guess like club, the best thing I'd say is like I've grown up with these girls, so it's really, they're all from different schools. It's just kind of, I really have a lot of like great friendships out there, and I think we push each other both on and off the field, so it's like a competitive environment.
Yeah.
I think a challenge with club, I don't know, like I feel like we travel.
The challenge is the varying grades. Like some people are already committed.
Yeah,
some people
that is
are not
true.
committed.
There
So
is a lot,
like
very very,
think
that is a slight challenge.
Especially
yeah.
now, when
Totally.
we'll talk about June 15th.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with high school, I think like something I take away from high school is like playing wise, like it's a really physical, obviously like you're playing like grades a lot older than you, like right now or like freshman year, you're playing seniors who are like way more like built and just like it's like very physical. It's a very physical game, and I think also sometimes like I get double teamed or something, so I have to find. I feel like I'm finding
3 people on you.
I feel like I'm always trying to find ways to like solve solutions like with my teammates, and my teammates are. I wouldn't be where I am without any of my teammates today. So or my coaches. So it's just like trying to play off of them, build connections with them on and off the field.
When you gotta go about trying to be successful in a totally different way.
Totally, yes. And then
that's
US.
what I like most about high school. Is that's
critical
a different
thinking,
challenge. Yeah,
problem solving.
Totally
when you're
is.
on the field during your club game, everyone on the field is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's still a little bit of disparity when you get to high school. And there's a range, and so they're going to team up on Maddie, and it's kind of been our experience. And
Yeah.
it's helped her
Absolutely.
grow, I think, significantly.
That's awesome. So talk to me about national team then.
The national team is so.
When did that start? I mean, you started so 8th grade-ish, but it was like an ID camp, right?
Yeah, no,
when did it become official?
Official, like our first U15 camp or whatever. That was like freshman year, like first semester.
Wow, that's a lot. That's quick.
Yeah. So freshman year, first semester, and then, I mean, it's awesome. Like you get to travel new places. You get to meet people from all different parts of like the country, which is the coolest thing ever because you really don't have any like common ground coming in besides playing soccer. Like you're good at soccer,
And
it's
everybody's
like,
good.
and everyone there is great. So on the field, you're taking away like skill. It's a speed of play that's different than the one at home, and so it's like you gotta move the ball, you gotta think 2 steps ahead. It's really a challenging environment, and I think every single camp I go to, I take like a bits and pieces and try to replicate that environment at home in some way so that I can grow to continue playing at the highest level.
Is that the biggest challenge, speed of play? I'm just thinking like about, even the MLS, and your dad, has played at a high level, and every time you step to the next level, there are differences. Is it primarily speed of play?
I mean, I feel like there's differences across it. It's just like everything's sharper. Everything's like you're demanded
Clean.
more. Yeah, you're demanded more at each level, and I feel like speed of play is definitely a huge part of that. But no, I think overall, it's just like you're moving up. Everything's definitely increased. Yeah.
It's funny. I pulled up. I'm gonna put my reading glasses back on. Oh my God, you guys, I can't read.
You're not alone.
It's so bad. Oh, it's so clear now. It's funny because I was clicking through some stuff today, and St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame, who often posts about you, Maddie. I love it. Good. We need more women posting St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame, gentlemen. But I like what I see. They're just posted like an hour or two ago. United States Women's U20 captain for the game against. Is it Guyana today? Grace Restovich, number 6, USA up 6-0 at halftime. So there's Grace, right? Who's older than you? Wait,
Grace is older than me. She is.
She's an 06.
So she's.
Yeah, we had her and Michelle on.
She's like
we cross paths.
I would
Sarah.
say 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
I didn't play with her, but I feel like I practiced against her a few times, and I was like, she is awesome because she's a great player. She's definitely.
What does that do? I mean, you're kind of already doing it, but what is that having somebody? Sarah, we didn't have this growing up. And whatever was out there, there was a 1985 team. There was a 1991. I was in 5th grade. You were 5th grade. You were probably 3rd or 2nd grade. But we didn't know about them. No. Like, I didn't know. I mean, I've said it on a previous podcast. We had Michelle Akers on, one of the original, I only knew because I think Derek Burton maybe had a Soccer America magazine with her on the cover, and I had never seen a female other than a gymnast, right? The Olympians. I'd never really seen a woman athlete featured, and I didn't know who she was. She's this red-haired wonder, and he was like, "Yeah, she's really good," and I was like, "Oh." well, then I love her. And I didn't know anything about her. And all I had was a magazine. And now I can go on social media and take a look. And I'm just wondering what you, Grace, not Grace, you, Maddie, think about when you look to Grace or other people from St. Louis doing this. And then also, do you realize that there are young girls looking at you like that?
I mean, that's the coolest thing to think about, because I definitely did look at Grace, and I looked at Caroline Burkle, and I looked at Pfeiffer, and I was like, wow, like they are so cool. Like I want to do what they're doing, and to think little kids might be looking at me in that same way is something that like blows my mind. And it's just like I feel like accomplished, like knowing that someone like could look up to me and like try to replicate like what I'm doing on all the like levels. And I think that that's the coolest thing ever.
Has anybody asked for your autograph?
I mean, I given out a few autographs.
Oh, it's adorable. It's like that.
It was at the sectional game last year.
Yeah, no,
right? You got to work on that. You got to make sure you got to make it.
I need to make. Yeah, I'm really trying to lock it down. I have worked on it. I mean,
every Mother's Day card I get has their autograph on it and their number.
No, she's got
they put their number on your Mother's Day cards. I love it. You could sell those, but no, don't sell those. That's awesome. Well, I had my next question in mind. It's gotten so much louder in here. People are having a great time here at Truman's and Fenton. Me too. When I think and look then towards Maddie, what's next? I mean, June 5th. So you have obviously the first thing is we want to win state for high school.
Yes, totally.
Let's go.
Totally.
Let's go. Cor Jesu. What's the mascot? Is there a
Chargers.
Let's go Chargers. And then June 15th is coming.
June 15th is right around the corner.
Do you know, I didn't know what that was until I started working several years ago with Lauren Seppi, who is, you know, all these girls have played together, right? So played with Grace, and she's gone on to the Vienna Illini, and I remember her talking about like just this kind of stressful moment waiting for the day. How do you feel about it?
Oh, there's definitely some stress. I mean,
are you? No, please. Are you stressed?
No, I'm just stressed because like I don't know where I want to go. Like, I mean, I've never grown up with like a dream school in mind. So it's like recently me and my mom have been like looking around, like spreadsheeting, like she's got on her own agenda over there. But
job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a job looking for what's
it is hard because the criteria she does. Family is important. It's important to all of us, and so that's a criteria. And Jeff's like, "You're nuts. You're putting in like, is there a local airport?"
Oh my God, yeah. She's like mapping locations, and I'm like,
it's so
convenient. I wish everybody could see the eye rolling that's happening now. It's so great. I love it.
It's so convenient to have Anna at Mizzou playing for Mizzou, and
John.
It's going to be so nice to have Jack at SLU playing for SLU. Jeff went to SLU. Like, yay! All of that is super nice for our family. I don't know what we don't know.
We don't know.
I'm going to assume that people who are listening probably know, but if you don't know, because if there was a time I didn't know, June 15th is the day that sophomores, rising juniors, become contactable, like officially, not like just, hello, do you want to come to our camp? Which really means we're interested in you. It is I want you to come to my school. I want you to play probably this position. And here's what we're willing to offer you. And don't ask me how NIL comes into this because I am not up to date on any of that. But are you locked in on the date, or are you cool if? Well, you're going to get a call. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. You're going to get calls and emails and probably DMs, and we got like a phone call or a letter in the mail, Sarah.
Yeah. I think it was a letter.
Maybe a letter, like an actual handwritten or typed and signed letter. That's all that you got. But you know you're going to blow out that day, do you not? Yes, you are.
We don't know what to expect. I mean, every experience has been a little different because, you know, Anna had her experience, Jack had his experience. We just don't know. I try not to get too...
I mean, the day will come
anxious
soon,
about
and
it.
I'm just going to take it step by step and stride with it, I guess. I'm excited. Yeah.
What is important, whatever school it is, doesn't matter what is what things do you want out of the? It's so hard to ask somebody you're 16 still, right?
recently 16.
Yeah, recently.
Recently
You're
16,
new.
yes.
Yeah, Marin's been 16 since August, so she's closer to 17. But she doesn't really know what she wants to do, and I still don't know what I want to do. I'm 51, and so we're asking kids at a really young age to make a big selection.
Totally, yeah.
That is not just your sport; it's school too. And what are some things that are important to you guys? You obviously having a nearby airport.
Oh my God. Still can't
I'd
believe.
like to get there.
I mean,
What other things do you like? Are you thinking big campus, small campus? Do you thinking of certain degrees at this point in time?
I'm kind of open-minded, but I definitely
She wants to play.
I definitely want to play. Like, I want to go somewhere that I can
You don't want to sit on the bench for 2
No,
years.
no. Like, I'm trying to play. Like, make an impact somewhere. Like, find a place that I feel like comfortable to be myself, and like the team chemistry is good, and the coaches are somewhere where I can feel they'll push me to like grow as a player and a person. And I think like picking somewhere where I can grow academically as well as like on the field, off the field as a person, like as a player. I think that's mainly where what I'm looking for. And that could be a big campus, that could be a small campus, that could be in the heat, that could be in the cold. I don't really know yet. I mean, I prefer like hotter, maybe like a coast.
My daughter started her
But-
search with beach.
Yeah, no, but family also is something that I hold like near and dear to my heart, and they're my biggest supporters. So I think that is definitely a huge factor in the thing as well.
What about you, Mom, and for Dad? Like, is there something? I don't know that I have the answer for myself, other than I want her to be safe, right? I want her to feel, because if she's not going to be at home, I want her to feel at home, right? And I want to know that these people are whoever, professors, that you got my kid. Like, I'm putting my kid, who's still a minor, and even, I mean, when they graduate, they'll be brandly not minors anymore, but still, I mean, we're still growing. Trust me, my 19-year-old boy is not there yet. We're still, brains are still growing. Like, I want to know that they're in good care.
Yes.
You can challenge them, you can push them, but I want to know that, that's probably my biggest concern.
Yeah, I that's it. I mean, honestly, I want her to go somewhere that she's happy, that she fits in with the culture of the team, the culture of the school, both, academically. That's. In the end, I just want her to be happy. She wants me to make the decision for her, which I will not.
No, I don't. Yeah.
If you do, it's going to be near an airport.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I need to keep that in mind.
Okay, so I got to ask this question too, because I know you guys have an event tonight, and we could talk forever. We might need to do a part 2 at some point in time, because there's just going to be so much to continue to talk to you about, Maddie. I'd just admired you guys for a long time. It was so cool that, Sarah, you and I got to play a little bit of outdoor together
And coach together.
and coach
Against,
and
yeah.
it was we did good. We coached a competitive game. Those girls played hard. It was great. What you think of? We talked about Alex Pfeiffer, right? So Alex's episode was different, right? Kate was here, and we were actually over at a different place. We're at Mellow Mushroom, and we were chatting about that was a total. That decision wasn't even there for us, Sarah. Wasn't a thing.
No.
I mean, there were some people who decided to go overseas and try to get a little bit of action, but to be like, oh, I can go 4 hours away and play for a professional women's league. What is that? Has that ever been a part of even your thinking, or has it been I think for Grace Restovich, who I'm looking at here on Facebook right now, it was, no, I got to go. I might do that, but I'm doing college.
Yeah, I think I did think going pro is obviously the coolest thing ever. Playing professionally at such a young age, being able to do that,
is your
having
goal
that option.
eventually.
Yeah, that is definitely my goal eventually. But I feel like I think I should go to college personally, and I think that going to college will help me grow and just develop, and then I will be more prepared to enter that environment. And I think I'm a person who doesn't really like to skip any steps, so I'm like just kind of taking it like step by step. Like I think the next thing for me is college, and I think that is the best option. And so right now I'm looking for like a fit for college, and then hopefully beyond that I can play professionally one day.
When you guys think about it, if you look at just the crazy exponential growth, Lori Kolupny was nice to her, former U.S. women's national team player, coaches at Maryville University now, just a badass, went to UNC, you know, just this, you know, when Anson Dorrance says that, like, puts Lori Kolupny as one of his top ever players, that's, you know, whoa, right? And when she just talks about, like, she's got 2 little girls, and she's just like, every year there's just new stuff. I'm just excited. The U.S. women's national team, when this podcast drops 2 days later, they're going to be at Energizer Park.
Yeah.
We've got national teams coming here. We've got pro leagues. We could have even more by the time you graduate. I mean, does that just blow your mind?
It does.
I think it blows our minds
It
for
does.
sure.
But the amount of opportunity is significantly greater.
People watch women's
Year over
sports,
year.
people.
Yeah.
People watch women's sports. It's a thing.
We watch it all the time.
We do.
We watch every sport all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not really
Our TV always has sports
discriminating on any of the sports.
Well, you got the NWSL, which is like, you know, every other year or so. I will go on record saying that I got not only last year Becky Sauerbrunn to agree that she would coach a team here in St. Louis, and Lori Kolupny, I have audio from her saying she'd also coach. I think we could fill a stadium with just those two's coaching, much less having. How amazing would that to have a pro team here in town? Because I know your dad is geeking out about. Your dad has talked before, you know, just so those guys are so happy to have an MLS team.
Yeah.
I would just be stunned, and I would be a season ticket holder for sure.
No, totally. That would be the coolest opportunity, especially because like St. Louis is, I feel like we're kind of soccer, like we're soccer. I think the city team right now has such a great crowd, and everyone's wants to see more. I mean, I think having a woman's side would be the coolest thing ever, and I would totally do that.
Now, do you get to interact with being with the USU national team? Do you get to interact with them then when they come into? I know they're coming in to play. I don't know. They don't always have a lot of time, but
I think I am going to the game.
Nice.
Yes,
We are a live day by day sort of family.
Yeah.
So we
No
probably
judgment.
will be going to the game. We just haven't bought any tickets yet.
that's okay. It'll be fine.
Oh no, we'll probably go to the game, but
And it's a great crowd that
is.
goes
it
and
totally
watches
is.
those games.
It totally is. Yeah. No, I'm excited to watch them.
Yeah, for sure. Who is a favorite? Did you have a favorite player growing up, or on the women's side besides mom and dad and siblings?
I mean, I think it was really cool to. When I was little, I used to like watch Mia Hamm edits, and I would be like, she's the coolest human ever. Right now, I really like watching like Sophia Smith and like Trinity Rodman and Mal Swanson and all, like they're kind of my position, so I just kind of like seek them out on the field.
They we call them triple espresso.
Triple espresso. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What do you like about them? Because the game, Emma Hayes has come in. She's changing the. I really like, she had a comment recently that talked about, like, stop asking me about how the men do it. I don't care how the men do it. We're going to do it our way, and the way we might play this game. Our body sizes are different. The way we play. If you want to really watch a technical game, watch a women's game. We also don't roll around and complain too much when we have fouls. I'm just going to throw that shot under the bow.
Maddie falls a lot. You could be.
Maddie gets right back up. Like, she's just like,
I am on the ground a lot. That is true.
But you're not rolling around.
yeah, we're not rolling around. And
I might yell at the ref every once in a while.
okay, you can yell at them, but you're not like praying for them to take a call, like change a call. I mean, I hope that never changes about the women's game. By the way, I think it's changing a little, and I hope it doesn't. And I lost my train of thought. This is mom brain. Oh, where was I going with that? But your favorite player. So what do you like about those players? Is it they're so technically?
Oh yeah, they're so technically sound. They're like they want to score and they want to win, and I think that shows when they're playing. I mean, they're ability to beat defenders 1v1, create goal scoring opportunities, and just find put themselves in positions to score and to make the greatest impact is something that is really cool. And I totally love watching them because I can learn from them, and it's great.
Would you just die if you were on the field with hey,
totally.
You're going to play a game and Trinity Robin's going to be out there? I'm thinking back to when Abby Wambach was still in the league, and some of the younger players coming up can talk, and they were I played on the field with Megan Rapinoe or Abby Wambach, and you could be I played on the field with Trinity. I got a pass from Trinity Robin.
I know that would be that would be awesome. That would be the coolest thing ever. I don't think I'd recover from that.
So I got to ask it's a question for you too, Maddie, but I think it's also a parent question. I feel like it's such a great and awesome thing, and it's a little bit scary because your daughter, Maddie, you're kind of a brand. You're a human, and you are a newly 16-year-old girl, but you're kind of, at least in St. Louis, there's not very many players that that know the game that don't know your name. And do you ever get scared about that, Sara?
It is mind-blowing a little bit, especially with social media. I do get a little bit scared about how big it could get.
And how our job is to protect, right?
Yeah.
And then just to keep it's not Maddie, you have a great head on your shoulders, you're wonderful, but to keep them, it's not humble, but just protected in a way, just because
I like my bubble.
Yeah, that you can't keep them in it. But you have to when they go out there, right? When they have their social media presence, which it's a whole different podcast. Mm-hmm. It is. It's just a fact of what it is. I have to remind just my own, daughter, who's just be careful what you put, and be careful because it affects and also people are mean. Some people are just mean, and I never got booed. I should have been booed with how shitty I played sometimes, but that never happened. I never had, after I played a game at Lindenwood, and my coach probably told me I played like crap, but I didn't get trolled for it.
Mm-hmm, right.
And we have a generation that's really young being exposed to that, and it's just a little maybe you're.
It is scary. It is. I think it's really scary. You have to. Our message to all of our children is, be very conscientious of what you put out on social media. And also, don't take it so personally, because not everyone is as conscientious as you. So let it roll off your back if there's somebody that's a hater or whatever.
Well, Jeff probably has a little bit of it. He played pro, and he has some experience of that. Do you guys have a way that you lead your kids through this competitive world that might help some of us who are starting to approach that, or even if I think to my youngest, she's 9. I don't know. She can't decide if she wants to tour the world like Taylor Swift. Maybe also play soccer on the side. She's thinking big at this moment. She wants to know if she can do both, and I'm like, sure. But I think about that and trying also to help, but also stay hands off where I can. Yeah. Do you have good advice for those?
My advice is always, and I think it's more of I don't know, I hope it's not a threat, but it's in the end,
Betty's if
you're not a good person, we failed.
Yeah.
So
she tells that very often, and I think that she's always raised me saying to be conscientious and to watch what I post. So I think that's something that also helped me. But
just be a good person.
Yeah.
And try and navigate the world in that light.
Yeah, because even at the end of the day, Becky Sauerbrunn, when this drops on Tuesday, she's retiring. She's going to have a baby, and she's going to have a bittersweet, and it's going to be great, but it's bittersweet. It's a celebration, and at some point in time, Sara, you probably know as well as I do, your body just doesn't do the same things as it did, and you can play. I've occasionally gone out with the old lady team, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't a good call. That was a Did I even pass that? What was that?
I played indoor recently and it was bad.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I told my kids I couldn't come.
No, and then the next day you're like, I'm taking 3 ibuprofen because, oh my God. But, the game will at some point end in this way, right? In this competitive way. And that's really far off for you. You're only 16. But, like, do you even think beyond that at that point? Maybe you don't. Like, she's gotten into broadcast on the referee side. The referees can go into VAR now. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean,
you could coach.
I know.
Coach a professional team.
No, I think like even after my soccer career, I still want to do something that like would be involved with soccer, like sports in general. Maybe coaching. Maybe Mia Hamm has like a great like podcast out there. She's like really involved in all of it. I think
I'm so gonna tag her when I post. Be like, Mia, we've talked about you 5 times. Will you come?
Oh yeah, no.
Do you want to come if I have her on?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually met her at the Gatorade event last year, and ever since I've just been, I was already a huge fan, and then I was like fangirling, and now I'm like.
What did you like? So what was it? What about Mia?
Oh.
Do you admire her?
You met me? I don't think.
Oh, wait. No, wait, I don't think I met Sam Mewis, sorry.
Oh, she's awesome too.
Sorry, wrong one.
She's amazing.
Sam Mewis, sorry. I literally
she's
messed that
got
up so
her
bad.
own podcast.
Yes, no, that's what I'm
Which
saying.
is
Okay,
amazing.
she has a podcast. I met her. She is the coolest human ever just because she's so personable. She made me feel like I could like talk to her even though I was like, I'm just like your fan. Like I was like, oh my God. But no, she like chatted with me like she's known me for forever, and it was just something that like made me feel so cool, and it's like something that I'll tell everyone about because she's an awesome human, not only and a great soccer player. So it's great.
funny.
So that's kind of what you want to do after.
Yeah, that's totally what I want to do.
When I just saw something, I don't know, Instagram, I don't remember where, I'm not on TikTok, but I saw some kind of reel that talked about still making the case for women's sports, right? It is a fact that we still don't have the same kind of, we're sitting here with tons of TVs, right? We still don't have we can find the game now. You can find it on Paramount, you can find it on this Ion or whatever they're on, but Sarah, when we grew up, you never saw women in sports.
No.
Unless it was Olympic gymnastics or Olympic like swimming, the winter summer games, the only time I could remember always seeing women athletes on. But now what the women's side of the game is so good at, because they've had to pivot, because they still don't have the same brand deals, they still don't have the same kind of coverage. The women's game, all sports, excels in social media. Mm-hmm. It excels in those reels and those snippets, and also the way women pro athletes interact with their fans. And I love that story because you just underscored that largely, I'm not knocking the guys, I'm just saying that the women and branding and connecting to the fans is a unique, special thing on the women and girls side of the game. And you just told a great story about it.
Yeah, no, it was really cool meeting her just because she's been someone I like watched on the field, and then I saw her in person and she like talked to me like I was like a friend, and I was like,
which might will impact you.
Cool, yeah, which
when
totally
you're
does.
Going to talk to.
She's might be the coolest human ever. Yeah.
All right, so I know we're closing up the hour, and I could do so much more, but I gotta let you guys go. Biggest lessons learned in this journey? It's not even done, right? You're only 16. A lot more to go. What are like some of the highlights and some of the those were things that were for the people listening, and maybe we can block and tackle a little bit better and do a better job.
I think throughout my soccer journey and just any soccer journey in general, there's like ups and downs, obviously. Like you're gonna have a great season where you're really gonna excel, and then you're gonna have a season where you're lacking confidence. And I think just being able to keep your love for the game and like finding why you play the game, and being able to harness like the love that you have for it, and continuing to like just push yourself to be better. And you'll like continue to grow as a player. And I think that that's something I've had to learn. Like, see, sometimes I'll lack confidence. Sometimes I don't know, need to work on my. I used to finish very poorly, and I feel that's something.
I don't remember that.
Yes, no.
You did that in the games you played against me.
I had an era where I'd probably get 20 shots a game and I'd miss 19 of them, which is a slight issue. So I was like, when I'm older, I'm not going to have all those opportunities to score all that many times, or get an opportunity like to shoot on goal that many times. So I feel like I've really worked on, like, dialed in with my dad and worked on, like, my finishing, which has gotten a lot better. And I think, like, just in some ways, you're just gonna have to, like, focus on those areas of the game that you need to, and continue to develop and just grow, and know that it's not always going to be a straight path and things aren't always going to go your way. But
how did you get through those tough times? Like, because sometimes people become a victim of that mentality.
Lot of teasing from her siblings.
No, definitely. Like, my siblings play a huge role. My parents play a huge role. My coaches as well. Like, I think just surrounding yourself with a support system, or like people who want you to succeed and like want you to, or like want the same things, like have the same goal as you in mind, like then you can go so far. Just because, like, my mom's always supporting me. Like, I have a bad game, she may yell, she may be like, Maddie, you have a bad game.
Yeah, you're pretty honest.
No, you have a
right?
bad game. Like, my dad
you can't
probably like look at me like on the field and give me like
what does he do? He puts his arms up.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing.
You're like, I don't know, Dad.
Yeah, but no, I feel like having someone who's able to tell you you're not having your best game, but also being there to like support you and pick you up in those moments and be like, next game you got it, or like, I don't know, like, just
we kind of joke. I mean, we spend a lot of time razzing each other.
She'll joke with me, but yeah, I think that's like what's gotten me through those times, and just like having those people who will help you and support you is something that's huge.
No, so you don't want it sugar-coated. You know, you don't want to be told you played great if you didn't.
No,
But at the same time, kind of that balance of also unconditional support. Like, that was not great, but you got this. Like,
and like, especially like my teammates are also play a huge role in this. Like, I owe it all to my teammates, my coaches, my parents, because I really would not be where I am today without them. And I think, like, on the field, they're always helping me, like, and then off the field, I have my parents, my coaches. So it's just like, that's how I think I get through those like ups and downs, I fear.
Yeah. And I think you nailed it. I mean, it's a journey.
It totally
I think
is.
that would be my message for most soccer players, whether you're...
And us parents, right? Remember?
Like, don't get so caught up in all the drama. It doesn't need to have drama. It's just, it's just a journey. There's peaks and valleys in every journey. Just ride it.
On the parent side of it, like, I know every kid's different, right? I can go through my 4 kids and tell you after a game what each of them likes to do. Somebody wants to break it down right away. Somebody wants to eat. The other person needs a day. And some of them is like they're not even going to talk to me right now. And so they are different.
Yeah.
What have you learned in this journey that you're actually still in?
All of my kids are different. I mean, I think what I've learned is just to be the biggest supporter I can, and to help in those moments where things aren't going great, just be the support system that they need. I want them to love the game, and if they don't love the game, they won't continue playing. So my hope for them is to continue to love it and to play every day and have fun.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite, before we go, couple things. When you're in the game and things aren't going right, do you do something to reset, to fix it, to get back on track?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't really, it like usually depends on the game, but I usually look at my dad, because he coaches. He coaches. Yeah. Either if he's at like my club, he's like an assistant, so I'll see him on the bench and he'll usually be like standing, and I'll be like looking at him, and if he's smiling, it'll like give me like a you're fine, like calm down, or like if he like tells me to like moves his hands in like a pick it up motion, like it just like he motivates me, kind of like he's watched me throughout my whole life, so it's like he knows like what I'm thinking, and I feel like we kind of have that connection. So I also like in my high school games, he likes to stand by himself, because he's
we play Where's.
Some of us know that we need to go on her.
Where is he? I don't know, probably in the trees somewhere, but yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. You're gonna defend yourself.
No, I kind of like look to him, and I think that kind of resets me, or just like, I don't know, the next play, like thinking, okay, maybe that play didn't go my way, but the next play I know I can do like something better, or even control the controllables. Like I can control my hard work.
Speaking my language, Maddie.
So like if my touch is off, at least I can control my hard work, and I'll win the ball back if I lose it, or I'll continue pushing forward. I mean, just control what you can control and strive for that, like to do your best.
All right, last but not least, babe, what's your get ready routine? And like, do you do like pump me up music, or like how does Maddie? Okay,
My hairdo.
Like, I have worked with players before who have like set routines they follow, or music lists they play.
I don't really have a set routine. Like I'd say during club season, my dad usually gets me like a Starbucks drink when we're out of town. The refresher before a game.
Nice.
I do my hair usually in like a slick back. Okay, it's actually changed a few times, but recently it's been either a slick back into a ponytail and a braid, or like the two like braids going into a ponytail and a braid.
Braids is what Mara used to call it. Okay, yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think I always put my shoes on. I put my I pull up my right sock and my left sock, and then I'll put my right shoe on, my left shoe on, and then my right shin guard, left shin guard.
I love it. And that actually, the routines that are actually proven to kind of it's a nervous system kind of like, okay,
it's like it's just another thing. It's something that becomes second nature, and I just kind of do it every time. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have a certain like pump me up music. I kind of just play like my vibe for that day. Like,
You do listen to music, for sure.
oh, I definitely listen to music.
Mom and Dad, what do? Just grab a beverage?
Yeah, it depends on the day, time of the day.
If it's in the morning, she'll definitely
I'll
grab
get
me
coffee.
Later, coffee with something else.
Maybe.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I just want to say that they've just jacked the music up here at Truman's Place Restaurant and Bar in Fenton. Thank you guys. Thank you, Fenton, for hosting it. Thanks, Dan, Truman, and everybody here. The staff was amazing. They're having a great time. And thanks to both of you for letting me hound you a little bit and be like, still looking for you. I found you at the Hall of Fame, like, still trying to get you. A little busy right now, Jen. So thank you guys for coming on, and maybe a part 2 someday.
Yeah,
Totally.
Thank you for having us. We enjoyed
Thank
it.
you so much. It was a lot of fun.
Best of luck, and I'll be looking for Cor Jesu. Go Chargers. And
12 o'clock,
yes,
Yanni.
all right, that's
fast,
Saturday, but that's okay. Look online, just look up and see who won, and you'll find it all over social media because the girls are great about sharing that. This will do it for the Soccer Mom Sunday. Like, review, follow, share, subscribe, and we'll look to try and have I don't know, I'm on top of trying to get Becky Sauerborn. If we can get on here, that would be awesome. And if we ever get Sam Mewis, you can be my co-host.
Yeah, I would love to.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.